Hello, I am Maria Adler. Actually, Ave Maria Van is my whole name, and I was born in 1952. This is a story about my mother, Lois May Jones. She had several husbands and was born in 1934 in Youngstown, Ohio. Her family then moved to Vancouver, Washington about 1943. Then from then on, they lived here with my grandmother and grandfather and her two brothers. There was a tragedy in 1947 when her brother Raymond drowned in the Columbia River. They had taken many photos at the Columbia River, have various pictures of them, and it looked to be like a fun family outing. The drowning of the Raymond was quite tragic for the family, and they had a big funeral, and all the family was there. And in 1950, my mother and her mother, my grandma, Catherine, were living in Vancouver with her brother, Roy. But on the census, it says that Catherine was separated. So apparently, Grandpa had left. As I've heard in other people's families, the stress of losing a child can put a damper on the family. So that may have been what happened, why Grandma and Grandpa separated. By 1951, she was pregnant and ended up marrying Tony Van, who was a friend of hers, I suppose. I don't really have the story of that one either, except that I have found out from various people that he was not my father, even though he's listed on my birth certificate. From there, she married Carl Grindle and had 4 more children. And they were married for several years, and in 1959 they divorced. But her and my grandma lived together many different times at many different homes. Some of the things I remember most about my mom is she liked to dress up, and she belonged to a country western club, and they would wear big skirts and pretty shirts, and my grandma did lots of beautiful beadwork on these shirts and skirts. And my mom worked as a waitress at many of the local restaurants in Vancouver. She died young. She was only 43 when she died. The year was 1978 when my mother passed away. And as I said before, it was very tragic for all of the family and very unexpected. We were having a party in her home, and she went to lie down and suffocated herself. And I actually was one of the person that found her and called 911, but it had been too late. And so we had a funeral for her, and all the family was there, and we managed to get through it all. It has been hard for me not having my mother for all these years. The thing I most remember about my mom is how hard she worked to raise our family, and I miss having her around. Seeing my family grow up was very hard for all of the family.